Hello? Hello, Bryan?
Yeah, just a minute. Hey, listen, sorry, I don't have a lot of time. It's Bryan from This, That, and the Other. Look, okay, I want to tell you everything. I want to tell you the truth about wood. You want to know about the real stuff? You want to know why the earth is hollow and why we're being run by aliens? You want to know about the stuff they're putting in your Gatorade and why you should be eating your dogs and why renewable resources are a lie and we're living inside of a hologram. And I'll tell you all this, but you have to listen to This, That, and the Other. You have to subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher. Don't tell Sam, though. Don't tell him.
What are you doing? Are you making an ad without me?
No, listen, I gotta go. Subscribe to This, That, and the Other.
You bastard.
9/11 was a lie. What happened to buildings?
Orale, and what's hood, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of What's Hood with the Compa FC, aka Forever Cabron on your microphone. You tuned in to another Goodnight Food Productions over here on the Binge on this network, home to the classics such as Olden Time TVs, Happy News with the homie Perry Kurtz, The Reading Ronin that's coming up with the homie Bryan, Sam of All Trades with the homie Sam, and of course, the flagship, This, That, and the Other with both Bryan and Sam. We thank you for liking, subscribing, hitting the notification bell, the whole nine. You feel me? Leaving us a review, dropping us an email, the whole conversation. You feel me? Shout out to you for holding us down in such a way, dog. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about how I've been doing, dog. I didn't just get back, honestly. I just got better. Ended up going back home for the holiday weekend, or holidays, you feel me, holiday. I went back home and whatnot, got a little bit sick because, you know, you got two children that are building up an immunity system, so it's bound to get you, you know what I'm saying? Got back, was a little bit under the weather, decided to take about a week or two off, just posted up, you feel me? Hey, yo, first and foremost, I also want to thank you for listening out to, first and foremost, I want to shout out Isaac and Liliana La Extraña for holding a compa down and, you know, getting me to be a better interviewer, you feel me? Still working out the kinks, still working out the hassle, but dog, we are getting there. Thank you for putting up with a compa, you feel me? And shout out to both the homies. I hope they're doing well. Happy New Year, eses, vatos, locas, locos. I hope you all had a good New Year. I hope you all had a good rosca. If you don't know what that is, it's a Mexican Latino tradition where you buy like some sweet bread, not that fucking Migros shit, but it's baked bread or whatever, baked goods. And basically, ideally speaking, your family, you come together. You share a pastry basically as dessert. Give me a second. You share dessert, and when one of you finds a baby within your dessert, the owner of the baby or the one who found the baby gets after 2 weeks gets to host everybody, and you come together for one good meal to start off the new year on a very unified note, which is a beautiful thing, you feel me? So if you celebrated that this January, right after New Year's, dog, props out to you. That's Mexican Christmas, or Latino Christmas, if you would, you feel me? Or Latin American Christmas, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Where kids put out the shoes and the three mages, magos, or whatever, come through, and if you've been a good homie, a good homegirl, whatever, they're going to drop you some gifts, and even bad, well, you get diddly squat. Nice little piece of rock for you to call home, you feel me? But aside from that, dog, like I said, you know, I was able to go home, spend some time with some loved ones, get those interviews out, you feel me? Get my size 14 feet wet. But we've been out here, homie. Not only that, but I've been digesting a whole bunch of music, listening back to the last decade of hits, if you would. And just really looking forward to the upcoming new year. The job hunt still continues. It is a endeavor, if you would, honestly, because it's just one of those things where corporate ideologies and whatnot kind of have I want to say it's frustrating. I'm not gonna lie, you feel me? I've been filling out application after application, doing assessment test after assessment test, and la mera neta, homies, it is frustrating to kind of meet these barriers of entry, you feel me, when you're trying to get back on your feet or what have you. You know, your saving account gets eaten up, the whole nine, you feel me? Like, it's a double-edged sword, because at the same time, like, it allows me to reflect on my life for a minute and, you know, figure out what I can improve on, what can get better, how can I, you know, better myself, my situation. And honestly, just forces me to look at things through a different perspective, because it's real easy to want to give in and just want to be salty about things and what have you. But it's a humbling experience, locals. So, you know, we out there trying to get it. We out there trying to get paid and whatnot. But I just want to take a moment this year to reflect on just the craziness that has been these last couple of months. You feel me? If you tuned into this right now, I want to say this might be episode 24, 23, maybe 25, depending on how those interviews come out. Hey, shouts out to you, Bryan, for holding a compa down for that. But I was talking to Liliana La Extraña, and I was explaining to her the root cause of raza, because unless you're unaware or you're not familiar, within the U.S. political sphere or spectrum, the word raza is akin to gang relations and gang violence, you feel me? If you're out there serving in the military, if you're out there, you know, within that sphere, the word raza is very looked down upon. It's very affiliated gang ties, you feel me? And the education on raza is the fact that its root word, it's literally a root, is raíz. Raíz, you know, short term it's raza, and we come from the same raíz. So, you know, it's one of those things that means kinfolk, that means, you know, we're from the same tree trunk, that we come from the same source, you feel me? So in those conversations, it's just interesting watching them kind of make us, like, you feel me? Like, it's interesting watching them trying to take our words that are supposed to bring unity within a form, like, not even, dog, it's a foreign government, whether you realize it or not. Like I said before, and I'll say it again, west of Texas, dog, you're still visiting. It's been 174 years since the Mexican-American War, dog, and the reality is that they haven't won, you feel me? Out here in Arizona, I hear murmurings of making it a felony to walk around without an ID, you feel me? I hear conversations about how Latinos can't go out there and sell raspados or elotes or chicharrones because, you know, it's unseemly or whatnot. And again, a homie, a compa finds it really interesting that we have to jump through these hoops and barriers just to get ahead, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, dealing with the job application process, going through the whole nine, trying to, you know, make sure that I'm valued for my work, my tongue, and more importantly, my time. Like, these are things that you have to honestly fight for. Because they, like I said it once and I'll say it again, robbery is free. Whether you agree with me or not, you know, I have to double down on that philosophy because I have to be aware, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, sometimes you take an L to get a W. Sometimes you can't look at losses as a complete negative. They're teachable moments. What can you do to get better? What can you do to excel? What can you do to make the situation come up or expand around you? You know what I'm saying? And for Latinos, a lot of that conversation really isn't had. You feel me? I was reading a science report that said that first generation of immigrants that enter, like, you know, the college space, this and that, or like become successful, deal with the ideology of imposter syndrome. And it may be because our parents are coming from a negative spot in life. You feel me? I don't know how many of y'all, like, if you're Latinos, Mexican, Mesoamericans, whatever the conversation you want to hold to yourselves, but if you're from this side of the planet and you haven't been to, you know, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Colombia, Chile, Peru, Mexico, if you haven't been home, it's easy to get lost in the sauce, you feel me? All these World War III memes and this and that and blah, 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 and whoop-de-whoop, it's great, dog. At the end of the day, these are just another way. Because, mind you, a lot of those conversations are had in a space in which it's very easily ignored that the majority of, let's say, for example, the Marines and the Army, the bulk of the bodies are Latinos. Go Look at how many Latinos don't join the military. How many Latinos don't try to join law enforcement. You feel me? And mind you, I don't agree with law enforcement at all. You know, it's one of those things where it is a dialogue to be had, and I hope, like, I have a couple of people out there that I really do want to interview in time, you feel me, and break this bread and just kind of figure out how they view things, because, again, I'm, like, I said it once and I said it before, I'm from the other side of the tracks, you feel me? I come from a different perspective, a different ideology, you know what I'm saying? I grew up around gang violence the majority of my life, and I grew up around poverty all of my life, you feel me? So it's just one of those things in which I'm very well aware and connected to, you know what I'm saying? I'm over here, you know, I have to hit up some temp agencies just because, you know, at least they're going to treat me like shit, but at least I got guaranteed work, you feel me? And it's just trying to come up, trying to, like, do the right thing and get the shit done, but I swear, compas, they make it hard for a thug. Like, they make it hard for a homie to just want to be legit. They make it hard for a homie to want to be, you know, assimilated or head down. It's like, I don't know how to keep my head down. You feel me? All I can do is move with my head up and my eyes to, like, the prize. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen our culture walk down and trotted, you feel me? I've seen the way, you know, we're perceived that in the whole nine. Right now, losing my whip, dog, I'm on the old ones and twos. I got feet, and I'm going to keep moving till my body fucking gives out, you know what I'm saying? But it's just interesting hearing people just want to give advice when there's none to, like, none to really give. Just keep your head up, you feel me? I had somebody tell me, hey, yo, borrow someone's car. So I'm like, dog, I just got into an accident. But we're getting ahead of ourselves, you feel me? But yeah, no, like, going through this whole job hunting application thing and just dealing with all these managers and corporations, and it's just nameless, faceless things, you feel me? And it's daunting. I'm not gonna front. It really, really is. You feel me? Especially when all of these close, like, you know, when you're starting off and you apply to a McDonald's or a retail store with a Target, Walmart, fucking that little hood shop that sells the hats at the mall, or fucking the like, you know, like certain little places where the barrier of entry is just bare minimum, but they expect you to, like, maximize your time, but to pay you the least. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, it's mind-boggling sometimes thinking about the reality that some parents live out there living off of minimum wage, depending on when you're at or where you're at. That can be anywhere between $12, $14 to fucking $7 an hour if you're a fucking waitress. And it can become frustrating if you really sit down and think about it. The federal minimum wage hasn't really gone up. I think last time I checked it was $7.25, $7.50, if not $8.25. Like, holy shit. While the cost of living is through the fucking roof. And corporations just trying to, and mind you, I get it. As a Latino, these corporations don't give a fuck about me, you feel me? That's why you have these protests against the 1%. That's why you have all this Twitter news about fucking, you know, corporations just not wanting to loosen up. And people wonder why you live below the poverty line, and wonder this and wonder that, or why the 1% is this or why the 1% is that. And it's all like, bet we can look at it that way, or we can find a means to support each other and make sure that we help each other succeed and strive. You know what I'm saying? There's beauty in the struggle. There's so much in it, you know, but it can easily break your heart. It can easily dishearten you, and it can easily discourage you. But you have to find a way to pick yourself up and find a way to make the best out of your situations, you feel? Maybe I'm just saying this shit for my own personal sake. Maybe it's just, I'm not trying to beat myself up too much for it. But man, I'm telling you, it makes a homie hot, because if I'm going through it in the levels that I am, I can only imagine someone who doesn't know the language. I can only imagine someone who's, you know, trying to get their way into the door, you feel me? Especially someone that don't got papers, or someone that's, you know, that failed to get their DACA reinstated or what have you, you feel me? And I've said it before and I'll say it again, if someone could use better use of my quote unquote whatever, paperwork or whatnot, I would gladly give it to them. Because the place that I'm coming from, honestly, like, I just wanted to see my community grow. I wanted to see my peers grow up and be, you know, like support their communities. You feel me? And it's just one of those things where it's on like, I don't want to call it American culture, because at the end of the day, those in the Americas are more American than those that live under that paperwork. You feel me? But those that are out here living under those ideals, those that are out here that, you know, their parents are able to make something of themselves, and leave something for the kids. You feel me? Like, a lot of us don't get that. And the sad reality is that, like, imagine if you have kids, dog, and you lose your job and you got out there and fucking ground from the bottom again. And it's one of those things where also I find funny that, like, if you don't have kids, other jobs don't even respect you sometimes. You feel me? It's one of those things that you'll see it a lot on Twitter or on Instagram or any social media space talking about, especially during the holidays, like, oh, I want to spend the holiday with my family. You don't have any kids. It's like, dog, shut the fuck up. Just because I don't got kids don't mean I don't got time to spend with loved ones. You feel me? Like, and that's another thing too that people forget all the time. You feel me? There's people out there that don't know how to be parents. There's people out there that don't know how to, you know, like, even if they're over there fucking flexing. I used to tell homies once upon a time, dog, if you really want to raise, you got a girl, yeah, man, go up to the boss, tell him that your girl's pregnant. Hey, fool, want to have a kid? Hey, dog, miscarriages are a thing. My bad. And it may sound messed up, it may sound fucked up, and you may not fuck with me afterwards, but dog, like, it is what it is. You feel me? Like, the motto is, once again, robbery is free. You know, and like I told the homie, dog, I sound like a broken record sometimes, but it reminds me that the struggle continues. It reminds me that even though we've come so far, we still have so much forward to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of the things that people fail to realize is that, you know, let's talk about politics for 30 seconds, this impeachment thing. I'm happy that it exists on paper. I don't care if he's ever get out of office, because at the end of the day, I understand that these administrations and these governments don't give a fuck about us. Us meaning, you know, the poor, the impoverished, the struggling, the ones that can't make it above themselves. You feel me? The ones mentally like, you know, like the ones that mentally challenged. Those are the ones that are called racist. But, like, you know, those people that are in a struggle that just don't know how to take ownership for their own shit, and that's the difficult part too. Because how do you own up to something that makes you look bad? You feel me? Like, accountability is big to a compa. Like, I'm not a liar. I'm not, like, if I said it, I meant it. You feel me? It's one of those things, you know. But it's just also one of those things that in the modern day and age, accountability isn't a thing. You know, you have people on Twitter or what have you talking about cancel culture, but it's all like, dog, you got to own up to your mistakes. Ain't no one out here, for a better lack of a word, a saint, you know what I'm saying? Like, we come out here struggling, trying to strive for something better, trying to make sure that, you know, the partner that we pick is going to push us to be better, you feel me? And again, that's another conversation, but it's just one of those things, you feel me? So as I go through all of this job hunt or whatnot, I got to remind myself that it's all, like I said before, it's all temporary, you feel me? I can't really be mad at the way things are set up just because they're set up against me. I just got to find a way to get my foot in the door or crack a window open. And just really find a way to make sure that my people, my culture, those within that share my struggle shine. Those that share my struggle are able to grow and flourish, you know. I remember a few years back, I went through a situation that was heavy. And I mean, it has real consequences. And I remember going to work and my supervisor pulling me in and telling me, hey, yo, dog, you've been let go. And I'm like, for what exactly? Oh, well, you've been missing too many days. And it's kind of laughable because everyone's situation is differently. But these people, unless it's affecting them, they don't really care. You feel me? And like I told that fool back, I don't have to, I really didn't want to deal with the racism anymore. The look on his face was kind of like, it was funny to me because they hate, like, it's one of those things where, like, if you're not it, you're not it. But if you are, you are, you feel me? And I just said I was just tired of dealing with the racist shit. However he felt about that afterwards, dog, knows me pedo. But to be able to sit there and watch them abuse my culture and just really downplay us, it's like I said it once and I'll say it again, it's disheartening. But do you sit there and wallow in this negativity, or do you pick yourself up, go to the next spot, and try to make sure that you still continue to shine? You know what I'm saying? Whenever it comes to what you're going through or how you're struggling or what have you, never forget that it's all just really temporary. You feel me? I said it again, and I said it once and I'll say it again. You know, maybe I'm just saying this shit for my benefit, but if it can help you on some kind of way to change your perspective or give you some insight in yourself, dog, take it. Because we as a people, we as a community, we as individuals always have to find our self-worth and self-love. You feel me? Within the Latino community, I remember talking to a caseworker one time, and this fool told me, yeah, man, my dad never told me he was proud of me. And I told that fool straight out, dog, at least you had a dad. Some of us grew up here without, you know what I'm saying? And it's funny because that conversation had nothing to do with me. That was something more on his end, on his spectrum, you feel me? Like the situations in which, you know, I'm coming from, they're frustrating, yes, but they're frustrating in a way that they're gonna make me and those that go through it with me better. They're gonna make us as a whole elevate and create a whole lot more, you know what I'm saying? But I think this is where I'm gonna cut off this conversation, dog. I got a few things to do. You feel me? I got a few phone calls to make, but I just wanted to come in here and, you know, shut you out in 2020, give you a little bit of hope and a little bit of a different perspective of a homie in the struggle, dog. And once again, thank you for listening, homie. Like, I really do appreciate homies that been sticking around me since episode 1. You feel me? It's wild that, you know, I ended the year or started the year with 20 episodes. And to me, dog, that's really an accomplishment. It may not be much. It may not be, you know, something great or something finesse, dog. But we gotta, like, you know, we're trying out here. You feel me? It's one of those cosas that it's just, I feel that it's needed. You know, I consume a lot of media. I take in a lot, but I don't find anyone really talking about our struggles or whatnot and what have you. You feel me? And once again, like I said it in the beginning, I'll say it right here, right now. Thank you to Isaac and Liliana La Extraña for, you know, helping a homie get better at the interview process. As the year goes on, I have a few people that I want to, you know, line up or whatever and really just have this discussion about our culture, our people, and the movement. And, you know, see where we go from there and, you know, what kind of thoughts and ideas these individuals are pushing out so that we can come together as a community. You feel me? But, yo, dog, it's 2020. It's my first episode recorded of 2020. So, shout you out. Happy New Year to all of you. I hope this year brings you growth. I hope this year makes you struggle. I hope this year brings you adversity, because through adversity we get better. Through challenges we overcome. And when we overcome, we learn how to thrive. Alright, compas, I'll catch y'all at the next one. Peace.